if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, seen it right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
Yo, my Star Citizens and Noob Gamers. Welcome back to another episode of Star Citizen with me, Menings. And in today's episode, I'm on with my good friend Kilthanis. And today is going to be me and Kilthanis talking about PvE versus PvP and the hot topic of that, and our thoughts and our experiences on it. We've been playing this game for about a year and a half now, and we've had some good experiences, some bad experiences, and we just wanted to get across our views of PvE and PvP, and the things that annoy us and things that don't annoy us, the things we actually love, and just get clear up our side of things. And as PvPers, what do we like in PvP and stuff like that, and what do we class PvP as? And so yeah, so we hope you like this video, guys. If you do like this video, don't forget to take that point to tickle that like button for us. Don't forget to hit the bell and subscribe notification for more videos as always, and don't forget to check out the description for the Discord link and the YouTube link if you want to become a member, and just other things in there as well. And yeah, so let's get into this one, guys. The footage that you're going to see is footage I've picked from videos that are already online on YouTube. I'll try and link as many of them as I can with cards and in the description, and we'll go from there. So some of the footage might not be amazing footage because it was before I started learning how to get better footage, and so yeah, so we're sorry for that, guys. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy this, our discussion on it, and leave some comments on what you guys think. So let's get into this one. PvP versus PvE and our take on it
in Star Citizen.
Now,
yes.
I'm going to start off with almost like a disclaimer. When people moan about PvP versus PvE, or say 90% of the time, they're not moaning about PvP, piracy, bounty hunting, stuff like that, fun gameplay. What they're moaning about is griefers, GVE, GVP,
yeah.
Or as you say,
BVP, wouldn't it?
BVP.
BVP?
Bullies versus players.
Bullies, yeah. Bullies versus players, yeah.
Or griefers versus players. And that's what we're talking about. When people complain about the PvP side of it, that's what they're complaining about. They're not, 90% of the time, they're not complaining about piracy and stuff like that. And so I just wanted to get this across, like mine and your thoughts, Kilthanis, on this PvP versus PvE. I don't think it is a PvP versus a PvE. I think it's like I said, a GVP or a BVP versus PvE.
And I agree.
Because for me, there's been many a times where we've had absolutely amazing gameplay because of PvP, and then we've had crappy gameplay because of GVP.
Yeah, or BVP.
Or BVP. And so a couple of things I just wanted to get across on that was basically, we're not complaining about it. We welcome it. We welcome pirates and stuff like that. We want an organisation of pirates to come and jack us, because then we have to then get players to help us. And there's footage of us. We did when we did one of our first live feeds, and I'll link that in the description and at the top now. And there was me, Kilthanis, yourself, Peeper, Bacar, and then I think Prop came in at one point, and I think Dark came in at one point, and there was me and you running cargo in the big maxes and whatever we had ship wise, and they was in Cutty Blacks, and they shot off ahead of us into Yellow. Well, we went to meet them, and we got pirated. Somebody in a buccaneer. Now, I do complain and say, well, somebody that doesn't have a cargo ship is not really pirating, but this guy was clearly pirating because he hung around, he scanned out my ship, I was waiting for him to get out of his ship and come and kill me, but then we called Peeper and Bacar back, and they come, and that was one of the best gameplays we've ever had. That was on a live stream we did.
The thing is, I was just going to say, the thing is, he did his kind of due diligence, and he was tracking all do the sort of things, checking that we didn't know if we had cargo or not and stuff. Yeah,
he took you out and then took me out, and he hung around and he was waiting for us. Then Peeper and Bacar came back, and there was a massive fight, and me and you was out of our ships looking at this massive fight going on between them, and they ended up killing him off. And then there was all the transferring the cargo from my soft def ship over to Bacar's Cutty Black, and then chaos ensued and then exploded. Yeah. But
I mean, he never gave up. That's the thing. The guy in the Buccaneer was actually, he was good at what he did, and he didn't give up.
Yeah.
The fight or anything like that. He took on. He whipped our ass, and we weren't ready.
And stuck around and had the fight. And stuck around and had the fight with Peeper and Bacar.
Yeah, and that to me, is fair enough. That's gameplay.
Yeah. That's PvP. That's PvP to me in my eyes. As a PvE player, that's what PvP is. Unless you want to go and do dogfighting for a purpose, and that's what PvP is for me. The guy made our night because it was one of the best gameplays we've ever had, in my opinion. And that's the footage playing at the moment. Unfortunately, the footage might not be amazing because it was from a live stream, and it was all old footage from about a year ago when we first started, and I didn't really know much about editing and stuff. But that PvP was one of the best game nights we've had, in my opinion, because it was fun. It was a fun game night. We didn't complain, even if the guy that killed Peeper and Bacar. Fair play to the guy. Like, we would have come back with more ships because he would have had to get people to come and get our cargo. Yeah, and that was one of the best nights we've had as a PvP. As a PvE player, being attacked by PvP, we knew the risks. We was going over to Yellow. The guys had gone out ahead of us to check stuff out, and yeah, that was an amazing night. That one, that was a brilliant night.
It was. So it was culminating in, obviously, death. I think I died for a box just making a little bit of touch on the
You're just floating down in space as I was watching.
Yeah. So that was interesting. But it's one of those moments where I didn't have my software on to video it, because from where I was looking, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sort of being
but
in the middle of space.
I filmed it obviously because we was doing live stream at the time, and it was brilliant. And so that, in comparison to what we've witnessed, me and you, when we did, again, another video I'll link in the description and at the top here now, was me and Kilthanis was doing a rags to riches, and there was some guy, I don't really want to name him, but I'm going to name him, Banjo.
Just in case you've not heard of the Rags to Riches series, we basically offered a couple of ships, and the idea was to start different accounts from zero, don't use any ships, blag our way across and basically make $1 million. Which we did. Unfortunately, along the way, we met this this guy who decided that he wanted to just be a bit of a
bully
griefer, bully griefer, and was just typical sort of trying to be intimidating and stuff in his 890 jump, which was. It was, I think we was in a C2, was we?
We was in an Andromeda because we'd finally rented an Andromeda.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really, this in the great scheme of things, there's no match for that thing, to be honest.
And basically, you see in the footage, he just hovers his 890 above us on the pad. We wasn't getting any cargo. And this is why we said this is more griefing and bullying, because we wasn't getting cargo, he wasn't scanning us, and he wasn't after our cargo. We got a rock truck out to go mining with a rock truck, put that on the Andromeda. He parked his 890 above us, so we couldn't get off the pad. We finally scraped out underneath him and started moving forward, and then he targeted us when we came out of the armistice zone and killed us. But he didn't kill us properly, he just soft-effed us and then laughed in the chat that nobody's going to come after him. We didn't have money to offer a bounty on him or anything like that, and he didn't kill us. All he got was a level 2 crime scat for vehicle destruction or something like that. So he just laughed in the chat. Nobody's going to come after me for that, and there was just literally no need. Like, I think it spoiled like over an hour, maybe nearly an hour and a half of gameplay for us, that we had to then get the money up to rent another Andromeda.
Yes.
Because it was the end of the night, so we was going to come back the next day, and that Andromeda was going to be gone in our rental. So we had to get the 50,000 up or whatever it was for another Andromeda, rent another rock truck, and then do it again the next day, and it just spoiled it. But in comparison to that, I think the one before it, the number 2 in the Rags to Riches, because I think that was number 5, the number 2 Rags to Riches, we actually got pirated by somebody, and they came and took our gear once they killed us. And took us back down to 0. We had 0 money, and we had to start again from video 2. That again was fair play. They stalked us and got us.
That was pure gaming. So we don't have an issue. I mean, it made a good. It made the video more real. I think, and it was it was a good viewing. Well, certainly we thought it was.
Yeah, but that again, it's what we're saying is, for us, that gameplay is we want that gameplay. We encourage that gameplay because that's, again, it's part of the game, and we've got to expect that. Not expect somebody floating above us and just. A lot of people will say to me, "Oh, well, this is an open world. It's an open world game. You've got to expect it." But I say to them, but I live in an open world in real life, and I don't expect to be shot in the face when I walk out my door, and I don't expect someone to park their car on top of mine so I can't get it out. Yeah. Like, there's rules in life. There's no need for it.
It's kind of, you get that in most games that have got online, mass, online people.
Yeah.
So, Warcraft, seen it all the time. Griefing, camping, killing quest givers. So when you're a sort of a lot lower level, you're doing your quests, and then you go up to the quest giver to get your reward, and then move on to the next quest, and then someone comes over and kills him before you get to it.
Yeah.
And then they go around and kill the whole lot, and it's like, well, you've got to wait like 20 minutes for them to respawn.
Yeah.
Then he does it again. So these people are just hell bent on just ruining someone's evening.
But this is the thing, like for me, the whole PvP. I love PvP. There's one I'll play the footage again where I was doing a video. I mean, it's annoying when I'm doing a video because it takes more time for me to do the video. But I still live with that, and that's fine. Like, that's part of the game I'm playing. And there was a guy I went and bought. I was trying to do a video on the cargo bug at one point, and I filled my Taurus up with Vice. Private property, I think it was, and there was a guy just hanging around in another Andromeda. He blew me up. Now, I wasn't mad. I knew I could just go and carry on doing my video as what I was doing, but that was legitimate gameplay. He had an Andromeda himself, or whatever it was. He had a Connie, and he could have got the cargo that I dropped basically when I crashed. And there was also another PvP thing I had where some guy was selling 12 SEU of gold for 9 aUEC. I know it's too good to be true, but I thought, you know what, this is going to be good. Let me try this out. Let me see if I get ganked. And so I headed over there. He was on a hill near Ghost Hollow. And I thought, this is, it's going to be a good video anyway. So I gets there and pays him his 9 credits. And as you'll see, he's got a couple of friends around him protecting him. I paid him his 9 credits, and we proceeded to transfer cargo, which was amazing. What an amazing player versus player experience, or player with player experience. It was such a good feeling to have that kindness and just that gameplay. So I do love PvP playing and the way people interact in the verse. And but that gameplay I genuinely love. And this is when people they're getting the PvE players wrong when they complain. 90% of the time there is people that are, in quotes, Kerbers, but I do also get their plight as well. I think it's confused when people say PvP and we don't like this PvP, but I love the PvP inside of it. I don't like being griefed, but there is an aspect of, like, for you get an hour a day if you're lucky to play the game because of work commitments.
It's it's bad enough with the rigmarole getting from your habitat to your ship on planets. Yeah. So you've got to travel, you've got to get up, you've got to get your ship, go up into the lifts,
have
go
a
and get
bug,
your ship,
go and get wake up again,
get one out, or in Hurston, just completely disappear on the train. End up being left on the tracks. So with all that understanding, and it's difficult because when we try and make content, sometimes we don't get started for about an hour because we're just trying to get there.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So, the people don't realise that, do they?
It is limiting when you've got an hour, maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And it's not because I'm not interested in the game. It's just that I just it's a long old game.
Yeah, and then this is what I'm saying.
Function, and then you get, let's say you get your ship, and then before you know it, someone's just blowing it at the sky for no reason, just randomly because they can.
Yeah.
And I know we've talked about this a lot, and at the moment, because the game is still in its, I wouldn't say infancy, but there's going to be stuff, I guess, that CIG are going to bring out, as we talked before about NPCs and stuff like that, which help with turrets and stuff like that, which I think will I won't even it up a bit, but it might give you some sort of chance to get away or do what you got to do about griefers.
Yeah, master mods might help with that as well.
Yeah. But until then, it could be quite painful sometimes when you get up and it's just like, and it puts you off.
Yeah.
It puts you off the game. So I mean, we've talked about this a lot, between us.
There was an incident for me, which is really, really important to anybody listening. Anybody that knows our videos, they know we've been doing this for about a year and a half, and a lot of people give us a lot of love and they love our videos, and they say it gets them through the day sometimes when they're at work or whatever.
Yeah.
And I almost didn't play the game because of being griefed, but it turns out it was a miscommunication. I wasn't being griefed. When I first started, for some reason, I ended up swapping out my starter ship for a Nomad, and for some reason I'd figured out that I could get ETAM from the orphanage over in the Art Cup area and take it all the way over to Hurston. This is before I knew there were other salvage yards. Take it all the way over to Hurston and sell it at something like 10 a time, I think, and there was a tick over at 10 a time or something. And I'd gone over there and I couldn't sell any, so I was waiting around. I had about 100k's worth of cargo, I think, something like that. And that 100k was a lot of money to me back then when I first started. And I hid in the chat because I didn't want the chat up all the time. And I was sat there and I heard someone shooting my ship, so I quickly jumped in my ship and flew off. And as I spun around, he was chasing me, and then he blew me up. And then I opened the chat and said, "Oh, well, that was a shitty move. I was trying to sell my cargo. I wasn't doing anything." And he said, "Well, I did try texting in chat who's at the breakers yard, because I'm coming in with some diamonds and I didn't want to, he had some illegal cargo or something he was trying to sell. I can't remember what it was. And he was saying, I need to sell this cargo and I'm not going to take any chances." And I was really upset, and it almost stopped me playing the game. That it really put me off the game. In the end, he apologised, he gave me 1 million credits, and then I jumped on friends with him, jumped onto his hammerhead, and I had another one of the best nights I've ever had playing in the hammerhead, going doing bounties and stuff. That was a great night, but it almost stopped me from playing it because as a new player, I was just like, it's not really for me, this. I wanted to just have some peace and learn the game, not be blown out of the sky every time I came on it. But luckily I stuck with it, and what he did also convinced me, he should stick with it. I can't remember his name because it was over a year ago, but amazing that he did that. And that's generally what I'll do myself now. But this old PvP or griefer versus player has got me switched. I don't like doing it, but sometimes if I go to an outpost and someone's there, I'll end up shooting them first. And I did it with this guy, I can't remember what he's called, Captain something, the video that's playing now. And I walked in and he was stood at the terminal. I didn't ask questions. I think I saw he had a gun and I shot him, just incapacitated him. I didn't kill him off. I took my cargo and he was shouting down the mic, "Why did you do that?" I got in my ship. I could have blown his ship up, but I didn't. But when I was coming in, there was already a blown up Andromeda and his ship, which was Cutty Black, and then I parked mine, shot him. Got in mine, I could have blown his ship up. But then I turned on the chat and he was texting his friends on there that he was on with, saying, I've just been killed at wherever, Outpost 54, I think it was. And then him and his friends all pursued me. They all went to all the different salvage yards to stop me going selling my stuff. In the end, I had to go from Microtech all the way to Grim X to go and sell it and clear my crimes. It probably cost me more clearing my crime start than I got on the cargo. But I don't like doing that. I don't want to go in there and shoot somebody in the back. I don't want to do that. But that's what it's forcing me to do. Like, I've ruined someone's game night by doing that.
That's the problem, though, isn't it? It's there's other people that are playing the game and paying them hard-earned money.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting to know the ratio of people that just want to just get on with the game and the PvPers.
Yeah, guys in the chats, put in there whether you love PvP. And when we talk about PvP, we're talking about pirating, being pirated, being hunted down by bounty hunters. Tell us if you love that. Tell us if you don't mind the griefers or the GVP or the bullies and stuff like what you saw in the video with the guy with the 890. Was he wrong for doing that? Are we mourning over nothing? Because that did take away a lot of our time. It took a good few hours of our time, that did. And just let us know, guys, what you think of that. But what I wanted to get onto as well is, sorry I'm doing all the talking here. I I'm trying to keep it into a short video, but what the reason that it's important for us PvEers to be there for PvPers, and we're not talking griefers, we're talking PvPers. The reason it's important for us is because we're the food of the game. We're the food. Without us, there's no point in cargo ships, which means there's no point in terminals, which is there's no point in commodities, there's no point in mining ships, there's no point in salvage ships, there's no point in any bases that do all of that. There's no point in space stations that do all that, buy all that stuff. There's no point in that. Then from that, the pirates then die because they've got nobody to pirate. In turn, then the bounty hunters die because they've got nobody to come chase after. So all you've got left with is Arena Commander in a bigger scale where nobody sees anybody because the map's too big. Now, for me, people have said to us, well, if you don't like it, don't play this game. But why can't we play this game? We should be allowed to play this game. I don't want it to go to a point where you've got a hardcore mode and nobody can kill you. And then you've got a softcore mode where nobody can kill you, and then a hardcore mode, because it'll just split up the community. And for me, I love that we've got that the worry of having to buy cargo and you could get pirated. I love that part of it, and I'd want people to understand that we love the PvP pirating and stuff like that. We love all that and we welcome all that. 90% of us. There might be people that don't, and they do just want a chilled night. But the thing is for me, when they tell us we shouldn't play this, we should play a different game with this Starfield out there or something else. But we should be answering back, well, there's Arena Commander. If you want to go and shoot people, first-person shooter, there's Star Marine. If you want to do ship fighting, there's Arena Commander, Pirate Swarm and Vandal Swarm and Battle, and there's even tank battles. Smaller maps for you to be concentrated in.
That's Tony. Sorry, Menix on Soapbox.
Me on my soapbox.
Yeah. The thing is, although you're quoting all those games for griefers or bullies, that's not going to give them the thrill of ruining someone's game. Equally, I would suggest that the long-term plan for CIG is to have a lot of sort of factions going on, and in which case you might be able to, coupled with NPCs, ideally that got AI that can control your guns and stuff and make you a bit of more of a harder target. With factions maybe having the ability to hire a couple of ships or something to help you. If you've got a massive cargo. I mean, like the whole sea, you'd want to protect that, wouldn't you? Yeah. And so that's sort of game mechanics. I would expect to see, coming up. But that could be 2 years' time.
Yeah, but there is cargo missions coming in. There's the one coming up soon where you've got to get. It's going to be like Xenothreat, where you've got to either be a fighter where you protect the cargo runners, or you can be a cargo runner that gets the cargo from out of the space station and to another space station and sells it over there, and you're going to have the protection. So it's going to be like a bit like Xenothreat, but cargo missions. And then there's also cargo missions coming and cargo freight elevators and stuff like that. But the other thing to talk about is there's two other points I want to make, which is Pyro and the commodities that we are putting down our money. We're putting down our Alpha Universal credits or whatever it is. We're putting that down. And people have said to us, well, get escorts or get better or whatever. Yeah, we can get escorts, but if we've got a smaller ship and we're only going to make, say 20-30 grand, nobody's going to protect us for 15 grand if we give them half of it. No, they just go, well, I'm just going to do bounties and and earn more money. But then that's the cargo sides of it dies if we don't get that protection.
But then, again, we're sort of going back to Pyro. Pyro's looks like it's, I don't know, is it 4 times the size of Stanton? Yeah. It's massive. So to me, again, it's the how many, it's CIG. What they're looking at server, is it 110 max each server? That's it. Period.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Because if it is, the more systems that come into play, the more you can disappear almost and explore or something. Because you've only got another, 109 people floating around that system or floating around the entire universe. So that kind of makes it a little bit more easier to disappear, because you can't have everyone on every trade route, can you? So so there is going to be a lot of time to just go and disappear and do some trading where you'll probably come against NPCs more than griefers.
I think also you can get lost if you're doing salvage and mining in Pyro. But my point with Pyro is, if cargo runners are too afraid to go to Pyro because like I say, you've got some people that don't like piracy. But if cargo runners are constantly having to put up the credits, say 1 million credits to fill a ship or something, and in Pyro, and they're constantly getting killed. Yeah, fair enough. Like I said, with the whole pirating, it's a different gameplay. But say if you get griefed or something like that, so someone blows you up in, for no reason, they're in a Gladius or something, and no friends on, and they don't even care about the cargo, they're just killing you. Then everyone will stay in Stanton, and if all the cargo runners stay in Stanton, then all the pirates will stay in Stanton because that's where the victims are. And if all the pirates are in Stanton, then all the bounty hunters are in Stanton. So what you got left with in Pyro? You've got a massive arena commander map where everybody's just dogfighting.
I just think that until we actually see the layout and how the factions are going to work, and how many people are going to be in each server, let's say if it's at 110 per server, then you've probably got a lot more scope to actually do trading peacefully.
Although there is something that I seen today when I was on the PTU, and it was I've seen it before when I was in Pyro, and it was the Pyro for civilians or something like that, civilians for Pyro or something like that. That might be a faction that is a protection for people like us for PvEers, because there's like a little you'll see it in the video I'm putting now, and there's like a little a pop-up stands near the expo hall in Microtech, where they've got like a thing where it's almost like a recruitment table for civilians for Stanton, for Pyro, I think it's called. So that might be something that's coming, because I saw that today. That might be something that's coming. Like that might be the protection for people like us. We won't know obviously until that time comes.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's like we've got to wait and see what CIG come up with, if they're indeed bothered by it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, it'd be interesting to see the ratio between PvPers and sort of traders, miners, etc. And it's probably most people do trading anyway, but some do both, sort of piracy and trading. Sorry, I'm actually knackered. I'm just struggling. Yeah.
For me, I just wanted to put across, for me as a PvEer, I enjoy PvP. And I don't want people to get that wrong. I don't want people to say, "Oh, he's whining all the time." When Salty Mike did the reaction video, there was a couple of people in his chat saying, "Oh, he's whining that he's gone to a PvP area and he wants to do PvE and can't be left in peace." And obviously Mike put him straight on that. Salty Mike put him straight on that. But I wanted to address that myself and say, no, we're not complaining about PvP, because we love that aspect of it. I love having to run from pirates and having that heart pounding moment. I love that. But what I don't like is someone sat above me on a pad.
Yeah, in fairness, it was a couple of people that said that, but generally, people were sort of, more about,
Yeah, I just wanted to address it at that because there is people out there who will say, "Oh, get better," or go to a different game, or don't play, or get somebody to help you, or whatever. But there is circumstances like you where you get an hour, you don't have friends on sometimes, you don't have the money because the profit's not in it to get somebody else. So and like I said, it also crosses over like piracy, with that, and you're still going to have that worry with piracy. But at least with piracy, you're getting a gameplay. With a griefer, you're not. There was a guy I turned up at Brio's and I'd shot somebody. When I'd shot that guy that captained somebody that outpost that time, and so the next time someone said, "Oh, just don't pull your gun out and you won't be friends." So the next time I landed at Brio's, there was a guy there. I went and sold my cargo. As I turned around after I'd sold it, he's got his gun in my face. So I runs and pulls my gun out. I had no bullets, but he didn't know that. He then comes trying to find me, jumps in his ship, and then starts shooting my ship. I had no cargo. There was no need for him to kill me. I had no cargo. He could have scanned my ship and seen that. In fact, I had a hull A, so you could see the cargo was gone off the side of it. But he still ended up killing me. There was no need. There was literally no need. And so it's things like that spoil your day.
So there was a comment you made about getting better.
Yeah, that's what you get told.
Get better at what?
Get better at get better at not mourning for being griefed. I think.
Why?
I mean, they say get better, but if you've got something like a Hull A and they've got a Sabre or something, you're no chance, have you?
You know, it's get better is we have got better. We've better trade routes.
Yeah, there's so many different trade routes now, but people say don't avoid that trade route, but then what if everybody's at these outposts and you run all the time, and so for me, it's just you saw with the Pyro video I put out, the guy came in the Sabre Raven or whatever it was, and then he blew me out the sky, and I had the MSR. I had no cargo because I wasn't cargoing, but he still killed me. But that's fair enough, that's what he wanted to do, and I wasn't mad about that because it was the end of my session and that. But that is sort of almost, is that griefing, or is it just somebody to being opportunistic? Because there was no need for him to kill me, but I wasn't actually really bothered because there was nothing in it it's not like my end game. It's not my character that's my permanent character or anything like that. So I wasn't bothered about that and being griefed at that point. But when it becomes my permanent character, I don't want to be blown out of the sky for no reason. So
I think the thing is as well is like in a lot of games that I've played, you get really attached to your character.
Yeah.
So when you die, it's like really personal.
Yeah. But,
Star Citizen's the first game I think I've ever played where you die that many times, you don't care about it anymore.
Yeah.
You really don't care. And that's for me is like, that's quite a novelty for me because as I say, I take things, a bit personally. So, when I played Warcraft, someone killed me, I go hunting for them. It's a stat, isn't it? Because you've got stats and stuff in that game, achievements and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was personal, but this one, when you died in lifts, you died in space, you died on planets, you died, crashing into mountains, and died to boxes falling on, on ramps, you just don't care anymore. You die, oh, I'm dead.
Yeah.
But I think it's more about not the death side of it for me. It's more about the attitude.
Yeah.
That go with 890 jump was kind of boasting.
Yeah.
It was an unfair fight, clearly. And you were just boasting about it, and I think that to me is the issue. For me, is just that sort of taking happiness out of someone.
Yeah.
That's that was no match basically. If we'd have been in Idris or something like that, or something bigger, it might have been a different story. Because you've had to work for it. He didn't have to work for her to crush us.
Yeah, but he didn't even kill us. That's the point. He didn't even get the kill because he just soft effed us, and there was no point. There was literally no point to it. He wasn't stopping us doing something he wanted to do, when we was going to end up taking over from him. Like I can understand if someone kills me when I'm going to an outpost and I'm buying cargo. I can understand someone killing me because I could be taking cargo they want.
The weird thing was that when we pulled up to that place, we were like in awe of the 890, weren't we? Like, that looks amazing, blah, blah, blah. And I think we actually got out and had a look at it. You know what I mean? We're looking at it maybe. And then obviously that all, he tried to sort of flatten the Taurus. Was it Taurus or Andromeda? Andromeda, yeah. And it was just basically just, a big child, big bully.
Yeah.
Trying to sort of, intimidate.
Yeah. But I think the biggest issue of it is, and this is what people don't understand, and this is what the griefers and the bullies don't understand, is they might understand it, but they don't care. They're taking hours of your gameplay away by doing it. Like I said, that was the end of our night for that, and in the end we ended up losing the Andromeda and had to rent out another one because the gameplay we was making. Obviously, you didn't know that, but it did, and people, and they've got to understand that. Like say, like for you want to get a couple, an hour if you're lucky, and it's all right for me. I can work in a recording studio, so I can just come and go as I please.
Yeah, I mean, I get on. I've probably been on about 5 hours and last, God knows how long, really, because it's taken time.
Yeah, and that's what people are not understanding. And when they say we're mourning, that's what people are mourning at, is they're not being understanding about what they're taking away from that person.
Yeah, and that's the, it does leave you annoyed. You know what I mean, and angry.
Yeah.
When people decide that not only will they just bully you around the map, that they'll kind of just sort of they would just chuck it in chat because they know you're going to be looking at chat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it is, and you wouldn't do that in real life. I mean, they wouldn't go out and park their car on top of my car.
Yeah. I mean, there was a thing when we first started the game where you could just bed log off or pull your cable out and you go to a different server, and the people doing it couldn't. But that was unfair to the pirates. And I will stand up and say that myself. That's unfair, and we shouldn't be able to do that because that is unfair to those people that do pirate and are good at pirating and worked hard to do that. But it's needed for someone like that is griefing, like someone that is sat above your ship.
There's no game for them.
Yeah. So that's for me, my thoughts on just wanting to get that across. We love PvP. We love PvE. We just don't like those people that are being arses. And when we're complaining, we're not complaining about not being able to do PvE in a PvP world. We expect to be pirated. We expect to be chased. We expect to be mounted on. We expect crime stats and all that stuff and fights and stuff like that. What we don't want is for someone to come and shoot us in his face for no reason. Yeah,
needless.
And then laugh at us about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I said, I think, it comes part and parcel with MMOs. Yeah. I think there's probably no MMO out there that hasn't got griefers or bullies and stuff like that. It's just part and parcel. People, they wouldn't do it in real life. It's like keyboard warriors type of stuff about people. They wouldn't do it in real life in someone's face.
Yeah.
And it's just like a little bit of a power trip. It's it's embarrassing, really, to my mind. But I don't think we'll ever get away from it. I just think it'd be less. I've got to stress. It doesn't happen.
But we should be allowed to be Kerbers about that. We should be allowed to complain about that because you're ruining someone's night. You're ruining somebody's hours of gameplay. And I'm not attacking pirates and bounty hunters and PvPers and that stuff. I'm attacking those people that just are dicks and are laughing in your face.
The pirates and all that sort of is part of the mechanics of the game.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have this shit you've got if you were never going to have pirates. So the game is built around that sort of with the trade and everything else. It's all part of the what do you call it? Not mechanics, but part of the game, isn't it?
Yeah, the core system.
It's there is another word for it. I can't remember what it is. So we accept that as it is. Well, no, it's the gameplay, but there's another term for it I can't even think of at the moment. So
put it in the comments, guys. What's Kilthanis' special word?
what am I talking about? And also, is it for you? What's better, BVP or GVP?
Put in the comments, guys. But let us know your guys. Let us know your thoughts in. Are we being too soft? Are we on point? Are we being too harsh? I don't think we're being too harsh because I like I said, I am all for PvP gameplay. All for it because I love that side of it. Like I said, the footage of us being attacked on the first footage that we played, that was one of the best nights we had.
Yeah. So I mean, again, going back to Warcraft, I used to do a lot of battlegrounds and arena. Yeah. So I enjoy PvP. I prefer it in set areas almost, I suppose, but that's what I've been used to.
Yeah.
So if anyone that's played Warcraft will know what I'm talking about, the battlegrounds and stuff. I've never really joined a PvP server because I didn't want to be looking at me up, back all the time.
Yeah.
But I did plenty of PvP in the time.
I don't want Star Citizen to go down that direction of two different modes.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's my thoughts, guys. And leave yours in the comments. We hope you enjoyed this video and the footage we've shown. This is like footage from over a year of us playing, and different times we've been either pirated or griefed or bullied or whatever. And so we hope you enjoyed that one, guys. If you did, don't forget to take that point and tickle that like button for us. Don't forget to hit the bell and subscribe notification for more videos, and check out the comment section and the description section for the Discord link and all the other stuff. And that's my thoughts, guys.
I think obviously we're going to try and set up a live on Saturday, aren't we, for the event? So I don't know what time it's going to be, but if you can keep an eye on the channel, we'll let you know nearer the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, so peace out.
Peace out, guys.